Good morning, viewers. I am Devendra Kumar Gora, and today we will discuss the important terms that are used in Aristotle's poetics, hamartia, and catharsis. So, we will begin with hamartia first. The tragic hero is not vicious, but he is also not perfect, and his misfortune is brought upon him by some fault of his own. In the Greek word used, that is hamartia, and the root meaning is missing the mark. So here the hero falls not because of the act of some outside agency or vices, but because of the hamartia, and hence it is unfortunate that it has been translated rather than loosely, as a tragic power flow has been done by Bradley. Aristotle himself distinguishes hamartia from moral falling, and it is quite clear that he means by it some kind of error of judgment. Aristotle writes that the cause of the hero's fall must lie not in depravity but in some error or hamartia in his part. It may be accompanied by moral imperfection, but it is not itself a moral imperfection, and in purest tragic situation of suffering, hero is not morally to blame. Therefore, hamartia is an error or a kind of miscalculation, but the error may arise from any of three ways. It may arise from ignorance of some material facts and circumstances. It may arise an error from careless view of a special case. It may be an error voluntarily but not deliberate, as in the case of the act committed in anger or passion. So hero says that the tendency of error or characters the hero from the beginning, and that the crisis in the play it is complemented by the recognition scene, which is sudden change from ignorance to knowledge. There is a matter of the fact hamartia is a word which admits of various shades of the meaning. Therefore, it has been differently interpreted by different critics. Therefore, all serious modern Aristotelian scholars is agreed that hamartia is not a moral imperfection, though it may be associated with moral values, moral fault, and that it is a error of judgment, whether arising from the ignorance of some material circumstances or from rashness or impulsiveness of temper or from some kind of passion. It may even be a character trait, for a hero may have a tragedy to commit error of judgment, and many commit to not one but a series of errors. So this conclusion is borne out by the play Oedipus, to which Aristotle refers again and again, and which may be taken to be his ideal one. His play, The Life of a Hero, is a chain of errors. The most of the fatal of all beings, his marriage with his mother. If the king Oedipus is Aristotle's ideal hero, then we can say that his conception of hamartia includes all the three meanings mentioned above, which in English cannot be covered by a single term. Hamartia is an error or a series of errors, whether morally coupled or not, committed by an otherwise noble person. These errors divide him to his doom. So tragic irony lies in fact that the hero may commit error innocently without knowing anything. Second term, that is catharsis. Catharsis means variety of interpretation. A catharsis is an emotion discharge through which one can achieve a state of moral and spiritual renewal, a state of liberation from anxiety and stress. Catharsis is a Greek word meaning cleansing, and in literature it is used for cleansing of emotion of the character. It can also be any other radical change that leads to the emotional rejuvenation of a person. Originally, the term was used as a metaphor in Poetics of Aristotle. He explained the impact of tragedy on the audiences, and he believed that catharsis was the ultimate end of tragic artistic work, that it is marked its quality. He says in Poetics, I want to quote him, the tragedy is an imitation of action that is serious, complete, and of a certain magnitude, through pity and fear affecting the proper catharsis of these emotions. William Shakespeare wrote two famous examples of catharsis. One of these example is the famous play Macbeth. The audience of the Macbeth usually pity the tragic central figure of the play, who is Macbeth himself, because he was blind by his preoccupation and with his own ambitions, high ambitions that are aroused by the provocation of three witches and his wife as well. So in first act he is made the Thane of Cawdor by the king himself because of his great victory, which makes him very proud, well regarded. He became very popular among the people, and his talent is also recognized. However, the time of his doom starts when he gets carried away by the emotions and the supernatural worlds as well. So consequently he loses his wife, veracity, eventually he himself died. So the temptation of ambitions robs him of the essence of existence as a human being, leaves behind nothing but discontent and worthless life. Similarly, in Act 5th, Macbeth gathers his idea in his soliloquy. He says when he speaks, a poor player that stirs and flirts his arts upon the stage then is heard no more. It's a tale told by idiots, full of the sound and folly, signifying nothing. Thank you very much for listening me patiently.